Routines are incredibly valuable to me. They help me feel balanced and less crazy. Like I have a million things going on in my head all at once. They help me feel safe in a way too. They provide a little bit of that mental safety, and routines really help me stay grounded. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk to you about routines, why they're important to me, and how I go about creating my routines. The first thing that I would like to share about routines is that they are dynamic. They move and they mold with you. When you think about a routine, you probably think about something that's incredibly strict, that you have to be incredibly disciplined with and do it every single day and never veer off the path of that routine. And while that might be true in some cases, when it comes to just your everyday life routines, it doesn't have to be that strict. We can be more playful, we can allow it to be more dynamic, and we can create routines that change with us without having to put a lot of thinking power into recreating them for different phases of our life. My name is Jelsy. I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach. I have coached hundreds of people now, which is incredibly crazy to think about and to say at this point in my career. But I've talked to so many people about routines and, of course, other areas of health and wellness. It is absolutely a passion of mine. I also host monthly wellness events in Denver, Colorado. So if you're in the Denver area, stay tuned to the end of this video because I'll share a little bit more about our monthly events so you can come join us for one. Routines. Personally, I find routines to be all of the things that I said at the beginning of this video and more. They're incredibly helpful for keeping me balanced and on tasks, and really they're most helpful for two main areas of my life and being. Self-care is one of them, making sure I'm including things in my routine that help me feel whole and balanced and authentic and grounded. And then I have the other side, which is goals. So self-care and goals. Creating routines helps me reach the goals that I have set for myself. So instead of focusing just on one specific goal and the things that I have to do to get there, I zoom in even further and ask myself, what do I have to do on a daily basis or even a weekly, monthly, yearly basis in order to achieve this goal? And I move that into my calendar, into my routines until the goal is accomplished. So if you are looking for a way to improve your self-care and your self-love and also possibly work towards some bigger goals that you have for yourself, then routines can be an excellent way to do that. This is how I go about my routines. I have them broken down into time frames. So I have routines that I do on a daily, weekly, monthly, and even yearly basis. And then I have routines within those time frames in the categories of cleaning, taking care of the house and my car, finances, life, and then my morning and evening routine. Let's begin with daily routines. So daily routines, to create these, your morning and your evening routines, you have to think about two things. Again, self-care and goals. So what are the things in your life that help reduce stress and then also help you feel more grounded and structured? For me, physical activity is incredibly important for self-care, and then so is reading and journaling, and also stretching is important, and yours might look different. So write down some of those ways that you'd like to take care of yourself on a daily basis. And then we're going to put those into your morning or evening routine, whatever makes more sense to you. And sometimes you'll find that you have a little bit of both on both ends. Maybe you have some exercise in the morning and then stretching in the evening. That's totally fine. Whatever works best for you. That is the key to creating routines. Find what works best for you and meet yourself where you're at in the moment. So maybe waking up at 5 a.m. and going for a long run is not what's best for you right this moment. Maybe it's waking up at 7 a.m. and going for a 10-minute run to start out, and then slowly working your way up to the 5 a.m. runs. Again, whatever works best for you in this present moment. So we have the self-care part of our routines. And then now we need to add the goal part of our routines. So maybe it is an exercise goal, which of course, go ahead and add that into your evening or morning routine. For me, I would like to learn another language. I would like to learn Spanish. So I've been adding 10 minutes of Spanish practice into my morning routine. So that would be an example of adding a goal to your routine. What are those small action items that I can take on a daily basis to get me closer to my goal? And for learning another language, it's practicing that language. So the next thing you do, you have your list of self-care items, you have your list of things to help you reach your goals, and now all you have to do is organize them into a routine. And keep in mind, you don't want this routine to be so long that you dread it and don't want to do it. Try to make the routine as dreamy as possible, something that is easy to stick to. So maybe right now it's not journaling for 20 minutes, it's journaling for 5. Or it's not waking up at 5 a.m., it's waking up at 7 a.m. And that's totally fine. So organize your self-care tasks and your goal tasks into a morning and evening routine. And something that's helpful for me is I have a routine app. It's called Routinery. I can share it in the description, and that's the app that I use for routines because you just press play and then it tells you when to move on to the next step of your morning or evening routine, which is very nice to not have to think about the timing of things. But if you do want to, or if you don't want to use an app and would prefer to use a piece of paper, you can just write down the timestamps for your routine. From 5 to 5:05, I'm gonna get up and I'm going to stretch. From 5:05 to 5:10, I'm going to brush my teeth and wash my face. Continue those timestamps. And then make sure to write down the amount of time that's elapsing that you're spending on the tasks. So brushing my teeth and washing my face, 5 minutes. So that if for some reason you change your wake up time, then you can easily fit your routine into that new wake up time. So set yourself up for success by packaging your morning routine in a way that no matter what time you wake up, you can still do that routine. If for some reason you wake up late or you get a late start to your evening routine, it is totally fine to just reduce the amount of time you spend on your routine activities and even skip some. So maybe you woke up an hour late and you don't have time to meditate, but you do have time to work out and shower. Go ahead and do that. Or maybe you don't have time for an hour workout, go ahead and do 30 minutes. Whatever works best for you, meet yourself where you are at in every single moment. Our routines are dynamic. We can change them to fit where we are. So instead of snoozing and then waking up 2 hours late and thinking, oh no, I can't do my routine because I woke up late and I only have an hour to get ready for work. You can still adapt your routine to fit within that 1 hour. And it won't be perfect, but at least it'll be something. Next, we have actually another note that I wanted to make on daily routines is with tidying and finances. Tidying the home and keeping an organized space is incredibly important for health and wellness. So even setting aside 10 minutes to tidying, even if it doesn't allow you enough time to clean the whole space, that's totally fine. Set a timer for 10 minutes, get as much cleaning as you can get done in that time frame, and then call it a day and leave that task just as that time amount that you have set for yourself. But if you get to the point where you can clean for longer or finish a full task, that's great too. Add it to your routine. But it's totally fine if you're just at the point where you don't really like cleaning very much and can only do it for 10 minutes. Totally fine. So that's a category to think about as well. And then finances, tracking all of your income and spending for that whole day. Whether you do it on an app, an Excel spreadsheet, or even the phone notes app on your iPhone, or if Android has it too. Keeping track of when your money is coming in, how much, and then where it's going is incredibly important for budgeting and not overspending. And we can talk more about finances in another video, but just remember to add finances somewhere to your routine because it's incredibly important for our mental health. Next is weekly routines. So weekly routines take a little bit more time than the daily routines do. Whenever you're creating your daily routines, it's important to create wiggle room for play and hanging out and just relaxing. So make sure you have a couple of hours, even a few hours of free time outside of your routines. And then also make sure you have a little bit of time for tasks. So this would be either your weekly tasks or just random things that pop up. 30 minutes, even an hour for tasks can be incredibly beneficial in your routine so that whenever things randomly do pop up, you know you have the time to do them. And this is also where your weekly tasks will fit in. So during that time frame, if there's a weekly task that hasn't been done yet, you can do it during your task time, during your daily routine. Weekly routines for me are also, again, self-care, goals, and then I guess finances and also cleaning. Those are the main categories: self-care, goals, finances, cleaning. But finances and cleaning go with self-care. So I have my weekly goals planned out and they don't have any specific deadline as long as they're done by the end of the week. So I either do them between Monday and Friday, but most of the time I do them on Saturday and Sunday when I have more time and less structure. My weekly routines, again, are self-care. So taking time for art or writing. And then I also have things that get me closer to my goals, whether it's participating in our workplace Spanish club or that's the only goal that I have, the only big goal that I have right now. And then finances, going through my Excel budget and making sure that all of my bills were paid for that week and making sure that I am staying on track with my budget is incredibly important to me on a weekly basis. And then also when I get paid, allocating where that money is going to during that specific pay period, leaving myself a little buffer. And again, we can talk about finances at some other point, but it's important for me to check my finances weekly on a little bit of a larger scale, a weekly scale. And then the last thing as far as my weekly routines is tidying. So making sure the trash goes out on trash day and sweeping and mopping the floors and doing the laundry. Those are examples of tidy tasks that I do once per week. And also washing my dogs, well, brushing them, just making sure they're being kept and taken care of and clean. Next, I have monthly tasks. So monthly tasks, again, they're just due by the end of the month. I have no specific deadline, but if you want to make a specific deadline for yourself, like, oh, on the 1st of the month, I do XYZ. My monthly tasks are mostly bigger cleaning projects and then planning the month ahead financially and reflecting on my financial decisions from the previous month. And other than that, planning a date night with my significant other is part of the monthly tasks as well, or planning any PTO, vacations, outings with friends. Those would all be on the monthly tasks. So there you have it. We have your daily, weekly, monthly, and then yearly is just thinking about annual expenses, planning the financial year ahead, and starting sinking funds for bigger expenses like doctor's visits or dentist or oil changes, tire rotation, all of those things, and thinking about things that need to happen with my car or the house on a yearly basis. And for that, I just have a list on an Excel sheet where I just keep track of all of those things being completed. So now you have it, your weekly, daily, monthly, and yearly routines. And while it might sound like a lot, if you think about it, you're going to have to do those things anyway if you want to get the results that they provide. If you want to take care of your self-care, work towards your goals, take care of your finances, and having a clean house, you're going to have to get those things done eventually. But this just allows you to not let it take up so much brain space. Because if we're just trying to remember everything, it can be incredibly difficult, and sometimes things might get missed, or we get to the end of the year and we think, holy cow, we have so many things that we forgot to do this year, and now we have to do it all in 1 month. And even with your goals, it can be so easy to set a goal and create a plan to reach that goal, but then not execute on it on a daily basis. And then as far as me keeping track of my routines, I just look at my calendar because it's literally all written down on my calendar, and that's how I keep track of it all. And then my Excel sheet that I have. And that's it. And it sounds like a lot, but at least it allows you mental space to put these things on autopilot and make sure that they all get done without having to scramble and think about when and where and how much things are going to be. Hopefully you found this to be helpful. This is just the strategy I use. There's going to be so many different ones out there. And if you take anything away from this video, I want it to be that your routines can be dynamic. They can change with you. Meet yourself where you are in every moment. And also the importance or the value of having routines to provide a little bit of that mental safety, and then also the structure, and create some space in your brain for other things, and other things being like play and fun and present connections with other people. I'm Jelsy. I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach, and I've been coaching for, oh lordy, I should have thought about this before I said it. I've been coaching since 2019. And I've worked with hundreds of clients on health, wellness, and self-acceptance. And it's a job that I'm incredibly passionate about. I also host monthly wellness circles in Denver, Colorado. So if you are in Denver and you're interested in creating friends in a wellness space, then this would absolutely be a great event for you to attend. We host them on a monthly basis, and I share them on my Linktree and also my Instagram, so you can stay up to date with the upcoming events. During the events, there is a sound bath, a meditation, sharing circle, just a place for people to connect and talk about different areas of life and being. And more than anything, it's just a place to mingle and get to know new people in a safe space. Thank you for watching this video today, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.